The toilet supply lines. Let me show you these real quick. So back here, my little office. This is the little office area. You know, you've got the computer, the PLC system. Right now I'm building valves and manifolds. Basically what I'm making 11 of these. Now what this is for the pneumatic system. I'll cover this more tomorrow. What it is you have pressure regulator, solenoid valve. Alright? This plugs in to, you know, pneumatic port, quick connect, they all fit into each other. The actual actuators have 2 of these attached to them, so these go to that, and you know, this goes to the wiring of the PLC system, and it's just an on-off switch basically. And like I said, we'll cover it more, but that's what all this stuff is for, is to build more of these. I've got all the pieces, you know, put together and cut out and everything, and just got to put them together. But that's not what I brought you back here for. What I brought you back here was to show you this. This right here is the main line that comes out of the tank. This shutoff valve, if you have any problems whatsoever, this should be the first valve that you run to, because this will shut off everything outside. It shuts off all the toilets, the wet wall, the water heater, the water chiller. This is the main shutoff valve right here. So you just throw it down, it goes down, and it's off. Right now it's in the on position. Now it branches off into the 2 different size toilet supply lines that we were talking about, for standard toilets, for flushometer toilets. Now this is the way that the standard called out for the design of these manifolds. And the way I set them up, you've got a shutoff valve, union, and there's another union on the other side. So if you have any problems with this, you can shut it off, disconnect it, rebuild the manifold or repair the manifold, and then put it back on. Or if you got a problem a little bit farther down the line, you can disconnect it, work your way back from there. This also feeds out to the drain line transport, because the drain line transport test needs to feed off of the same configuration. Now this pressure regulator is a little funky. What it is, this is a cap. So you unscrew the cap, and then there's an Allen wrench right there, and that's what you adjust the pressure with. So it's not like a normal pressure regulator. The reason why I had to go with this one is because the standard called out with a specific size and range, and the range was outside of anything that, you know, the pressure range that it needs to be at was outside of anything that these, you know, the standard pressure regulators can handle. It would come close, but not quite there. So had to special order this one. It took forever and a day to get here, so please don't break it, even though it's plastic, you know. So there it is. So pressure regulator, globe valve. So if you see in the diagram in the standard, it calls out for a globe valve. This is the globe valve. And basically what it is instead of like a normal valve where you have a flat seat that sits down, it's more of a ball shaped that comes down. So it's like a half a globe. So it's not like a ball valve where it's a ball turning. It's kind of like a cross between a ball valve and a gate valve. So imagine a gate valve with a ball on the end instead of an actual gate.
It minimizes the turbulence in the water?
They use it for throttling, stuff like that. You know, I've gone through the standards and I haven't actually seen any practical use for having that valve there, but the standard calls out for it, so it's there. Same thing with down there, the red handle right there, that's the other globe valve for the 1.5 inch. This is set up the same way with unions, shut-off valve. The standard called out for this one to have this little bypass for throttling, so you got to keep in mind that this is 125 psi up until it hits there. So if you open that valve, it's going to shoot 125 psi out to your samples. Now the ABS pipe can handle that pressure. I just built it out of ABS because it's quicker and cheaper than the 1.5 inch stainless or galvanized steel. So And then, let's see, that's about it. This cash valve, this pressure valve, in the standard they called out for a 2-inch opening, bushed down to 1.5 inch to handle the flow rate. 1.5 inch line, these flushometers, they might not have very high pressure, but they have a high flow rate. It's a big pipe, there's a lot of water moving through it. So that's that.